In the original Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy, there are a handful of abilities that were left on the cutting room floor for various reasons. For instance, back during the development of the first game, Sonic wasn't just supposed to go fast. Part of the original game concept envisioned the protagonist with the ability to pick up and throw objects at enemies, and at one point, Sonic could actually do that. However, that was only possible because he was a very different character. Literally. When Sega's AM8 division, now known as Sonic Team, was tasked with sifting through internal competition submissions for an appropriate animal character that could become Sega's mascot, they saw ideas for just about every animal under the sun. One design that stood above the rest was an early creation of a 26-year-old character designer at Sega named Naoto Oshima, a 1930s-style cartoon rabbit. Doesn't he look like he was ripped right out of Cuphead? Felix Feel the Rabbit, as he had come to be known by the Sonic community, was an early frontrunner, and he definitely fit the bill for Yuji Naka's game concept. Rabbits are known to be fast, and his characteristic long ears could be used to pick up and hurl objects. Unfortunately for Felix, it was determined by the dev team that the pick up and throw mechanic would have complicated and slowed down the gameplay, which broke the two cardinal rules of the project. So, it was dropped in favor of the jump/bounce attack suggested by Hirokazu Yasuhara. Oshima later redesigned the protagonist into the Hedgehog we know and love, and the rest is history. The concept for Felix the Rabbit and his unique gameplay mechanic was later revisited for a Sega prototype called Feel, which became Ristar. Later in Sonic the Hedgehog's development, one of the power-ups planned for the game was a set of goggles. An unused image of a goggles monitor has been found in the game's files, and many believe that they could have been intended as a way for Sonic to hold his breath underwater for longer, similar to how the Aqua Shield functions in Sonic 3 and later installments. It's possible they would have been able to be used in Sonic 1's Labyrinth Zone, the only water level in the game. The goggle monitor reappeared as a placeable object in the debug mode of the 2013 Sonic the Hedgehog remake, and the goggles themselves are worn during the playing segments of Sonic Mania. We covered the development of Sonic 2 in depth in a previous GameFAQs special, and in that video, we mentioned the existence of a wall bounce or rebound mechanic that was scrapped pretty early in development. When Sonic collided with a wall at high speed in the Nick Arcade prototype, he would bounce off, land flat on the ground, and pick himself back up. The mechanic and its associated animations are only present in the Nick Arcade prototype, and do not appear in later prototypes. However, the Getting Up sprite did make it into the final game. It appears whenever Sonic transitions out of his idle animation. Of course, we can't talk about Sonic 2 without mentioning our favorite scrapped turtle companion, Boomer. When Boomer was being conceptualized, the team came up with several moves that would be exclusive to the character. One of them was a flying maneuver that could only be accomplished if Sonic pushed the turtle fast enough to activate it. It was a cool idea, but it also would have meant bringing the fast-paced gameplay to a grinding halt, so it was scrapped along with Boomer. Rest in peace, turtle friend. One last tidbit for Sonic 2. Tails' propeller flight move was probably intended to be used by the player at some point. The character uses that move when it's controlled by AI, but the player can't use it in the original release. Propeller flight became a regular feature for Tails in the Sonic games and spin-offs that followed, as well as Sonic Origins and the mobile remake version of Sonic 2. In early prototypes for Sonic 3, the Blue Blur had a couple of abilities that were later scrapped. The first was an air dash move, which would allow Sonic to get a boost in any direction by pressing the A button and a direction after jumping. It's clear that this move was cut early though, because using it in the November 3rd, 1993 prototype results in the camera losing track of Sonic. There was also a ring throw move that could have been intended as an offensive projectile. Only present in the November 3rd, 1993 prototype, pressing the B button while jumping would cause Sonic to throw a ring in the direction he was facing. If you pressed the C button in the air, he would throw rings in both directions. Using this move doesn't subtract from the total ring count, and it can even be used to collect other rings. The drop dash that became prominent in later Sonic games also first appeared in this prototype before being scrapped, and that could be activated by holding up on the D-pad during a jump. There is also this sprite of Sonic whistling. Perhaps it would have been used to call Tails back to Sonic when he went off screen. In March 2022, an internal Sega Technical Institute document dated April 12, 1993 was leaked. This document was intended to introduce Knuckles as a character back before his name had officially been settled on. There are some pretty interesting pieces of information in this document, including the reveal that Knuckles was intended to have a whirlwind move that could break down walls and find hidden routes. This ability isn't present in the final game, but the Knuckles Sonic 3 Happy Meal toy shows what the move may have looked like. That's all we have for the original Sonic trilogy. Did we miss something? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more game development content. While you're here, you should check out our other videos featuring Sonic, Mario, Spider-Man, and many more. Thanks for watching. This has been a GameFAQs special.